Hi everyone, my name's Tom. In this video I want to talk about something that I only found out that I had a problem with about a few years ago. It explains a lot of, again, why I'm like the way I am. And that's to do with tinnitus. What is tinnitus? It's essentially a ringing of the brain. I was going to say ringing of the ears, but it's not technically the ears, it's your brain. It's ringing of the brain. So I think I said to my dad a few years ago when I was working on my car, I just said something like, it's like when you get ringing in your ears. And he said, if you've got ringing in your ears, you probably got tinnitus or something. I was like, oh, okay. And it basically turns out I've had this basically my entire life. It goes back to actually apparently me going on to a flight when I was a baby, going to Florida apparently. And I think the flight itself burst my eardrums or something, and then I ended up having hearing problems as a kid. Who knows? But I've gone through my entire life with not really knowing this, to say, until about 3 years ago. And I think what kind of happened was I've been to quite a lot of concerts over the years, like through like sort of 13 to like sort of early 20s, went to a lot of gigs, really loud, lost my voice, all that sort of thing. Always used to protect my ears to a degree. Always used to put ear defenders or something in. Spend a long time shooting. They've got local drag stick to me, like Santa Pod. Spend a long time on like sort of drag racing events, and all these things are very damaging for your ears. But I've always tried to make sure to sort of protect them to a degree. But I've had, for the longest time, since I've been very little, I've been an insomniac. I've had I've had trouble sleeping, and usually turn to things like like alcohol, or just basically what I used to have to do. I used to sit there and just play with toys all night, or play video games all night until I got tired, and then go to sleep. And usually it's a silly time in the morning, but with what would happen is that basically I used to think I could hear the TV downstairs. That's what I think it used to be like. Modern TVs really make the same sound, but old TVs, like analog TVs, used to make like a sort of a static sound. I actually managed to find it on YouTube, but it's not very long. And it actually probably is spot on of what my tinnitus sounds like. So I actually can't really hear it, but I can if I kind of concentrate. But you probably can if you. Some people apparently can't hear it, but that's like a static PAL sound. It's quite quiet actually. It's why I haven't really used this as an example for what I'm about to do in a moment. But I've always had this. As I said, I never knew any different. That was silence to me. Silence to me was having this ring. I don't know. I've just never thought about it. And quite remarkably, I suppose, my brain is 99% of the time, I don't think about it. There's only times I think about it, like, is at very late at night when I'm going to sleep, and I sleep with a fan on, and I always have slept with a fan on, and I believe it's because of this reason. I never used to know why. I slept better with background noise, whether it be a song or TV or a fan playing or things like that. But that was the big reason. It's because I've got the ringing in my ears. There is no silence in my life, is basically what I'm trying to say. Ringing of the brain. There's lots of other videos on this if you're intrigued, or if you think you might have this, because there's lots of other different types. But what I'm going to do here for a moment, I'm going to try and simulate what it sounds like to me, because it's quite boggling. I think what it comes down to, I don't know why it's beeping there. I'm going to have to adjust the volume because it's going to be loud. So I do apologise. There's a bit of a warning in advance. It's not a nice sound. This is what I listen to all my life. This is what I have. So it's just how it is. I believe it's around this, because this is the PAL TV noise we just found, a kilohertz. I assume that's 15,000 like 15,000 hertz, somewhere around there. And this is about 14,000. There's probably some more I can find it exactly. But what I would say is, actually trying to, because I never really pay too much attention to it, it's just there. And I've always been blamed for being a bad listener and things, and there you go. But here we go, got this sort of top note, but it's not just that for me. Now, it's already turned down a bit. I'll probably leave it there, because it's actually, the volume for it in my head is probably about there. On the volume I'm using on my headset, which would be louder if you go full volume, but whatever. If I mix this one in as well, we put that on loop, that's probably a little bit quieter. It's not so loud. At night, it is that loud. At night when I'm sleeping and there's no sound, it is that loud. That's how loud it is. But like right now, for example, when I'm talking and things, you can hear your voice in your head. It's not that loud, but that is what I hear all the time. There is no off switch. There is no off switch. It's always been like that. That's how it is. And I've always thought at this point, like if I didn't have that, I'd kind of miss it. It's a little bit weird. Something that made it worse. What I remember, one of the reasons I actually initially wanted to upgrade my MX5. People like my old videos and knew I had the MX5, and it was very loud. That was a straight piped, like 4-1 manifold, no cat or anything on it. It's just a straight pipe exhaust. It sounded fantastic. Realistically, it sounded great, but yeah, the exhaust definitely did not help my ears at all. It was incredibly loud. This is one of the few times I did it. So it was a great though it was a great car, this definitely didn't help my tinnitus problem. But again, back here, I didn't actually know what tinnitus was. I had no idea. It was just part of my, I had trouble sleeping, so that's a big part of it there. But I don't think this even came across on video, but this is by far one of the loudest cars I've ever probably heard or ever had the pleasure of driving. It was on the top end, yeah, definitely gets your ears. Really quite loud there. But I think this car made it somewhat worse. I was daily driving this in this sort of period of time, and I definitely found, I think that didn't help my situation. And that was kind of just around the time I was starting to notice it, because I was trying to build an S13 at that point, but that's all ended a bit differently now. But I don't know what more to say, really. That's my tinnitus. So thank you very much for watching, if anyone's watched this. It's a bit of an intriguing side to me, but that's just something I live with. It's something I didn't know about. Don't think it's well known. Look after your ears, is guess what I'm saying. It might have come from some concerts, but I believe personally I've had it since I was born, basically. When I went on the plane when I was like, 6 months old to Florida, and I think the pressure just popped my ears, and it's been a problem since then. So, cool. Right. Thank you for watching, and bye-bye.